Welcome to Josh's Cemetery Chats. What's up, Heart Nation? How's it going out there? So today, I want to talk about words. Two words in particular, supernatural and paranormal. Now, most of the time, when we're looking at ghost hunting, when we're looking at shows, whether it's on YouTube or out on television or wherever it happens to be, when people are talking about ghosts and hauntings and that kind of stuff, they use the words paranormal and supernatural. The way those words are commonly used isn't actually what they mean. Supernatural implies something outside of the natural realm. Paranormal implies something that's that's other than normal. That's what paranormal means, other than normal. So when you use the word paranormal, you're almost right. You're close there, because it's not something whenever something's going on, it's something other than what you expect to be normal. But the word supernatural is way off base, because there's nothing outside of the natural world. If we had a way of telling that there was something outside of the natural world, then it would be a part of the natural world, because it would be able to interact with our world as we know it. And I know what you're thinking. You're already going down in the comments to type, and you're yelling, Josh, doesn't matter what these words actually mean. We're using them the way that everybody expects them to be used. And yeah, technically you're right. You're using them in the way that a lot of people commonly use them, but that's a big problem with the ghost hunting community and with this whole thing where we're trying to identify whether or not something like ghosts would exist. When you start using words like paranormal, supernatural, when you start just throwing words out there and using it as an explanation for everything that goes wrong, you wind up in a situation where you're defeating your own proposition. Try to get funding for a study, for instance, to try and figure out whether some place is haunted or what that even means. You get laughed out of the room most of the time, because most of the people that fund real scientific studies don't want to fund or don't want to be associated with something in the realm of paranormal, ghost hunting, that kind of stuff, because it's laughed at. It's seen as the thing that nobody wants to have anything to do with, because the minute you do that, basically kill your professional career. Now, what we should start doing, and what we should be doing long term, is getting away from using words like paranormal and supernatural, and finding other definitions and finding other words and things that work better from a scientific standpoint. And aside from doing that, we also should be going out and trying to define ghosts and spirits and demons. Are they different things? Are they the same thing? We need to define these things in a way that can actually be tested, in a way that we can actually look at it and say, this is exactly what this is. This is what we would expect to see under these conditions. And that's where you would start forming a scientific hypothesis and coming up with ways to test it. And that's something that in a future video I very much want to do. I want to sit down and I want to formulate like an actual hypothesis on what would a ghost be, and what would be a way that we could test for something that would be a ghost. So what I'd like to hear from you guys down in the comments below is, what do you think? What is your definition of ghost? And you can take it one step further if you want and define ghost, supernatural, paranormal, define spirits, define demons. You can define whatever you want to define. I would love to see what your guys' definitions of those things would be. And keep in mind, you want to go from a scientific perspective. Even if you don't have a degree, it's still not that difficult to kind of take some of the basic science that you learn in school and apply some of the same terminology and the same ideas to defining things like ghosts and spirits and demons and that kind of stuff. So leave your definition down below in the comments, and let's start the conversation and talk a little bit about it. So before I end this one, I do want to mention a couple of things. I want to give a shout out, first of all, to Paranormal TDM. Go check out their latest vid. I'll link it down in the description below. It's actually a really fun video. They did kind of a bottom 5, top 5 type of countdown. It was the bottom 5 reactions on ghost shows, and there's some pretty funny clips on there, and they did an outstanding job with the writing and everything with it. And I made a cameo appearance in there, so go check that video out. Tell them that I sent you over, tell them I said hi, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. So one other quick thing, and I'll put the names up here of the patrons. So I've got a Patreon. You can go over and check it out. It helps to fund things like doing these kind of videos, but especially when it comes to the Legends and Tales documentaries and some of the other stuff that I've got down the road. So, and there's a lot of really cool benefits, including getting your name in the video, early access, behind the scenes content. There's a bunch of different stuff over there. So go check that out if you're interested in supporting the channel in that way. Other than that, I got nothing else for you. I want to thank you all for watching. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.